that he be happy with the things that I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that. I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go to the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade weeks earlier, you were out of the country on business. I didn't bring that up. That's your personal business, okay? But the fact is, you wasn't at the Hall of Fame induction of a brother that's going to drastically assist to you being a Hall of Famer because he helped you become the champion that you are, and he was a big brother to you. I brought up none of these things. I'm
already tired. I ain't going.
It just, before we say obvious, I'm just saying this as a once upon a tot was like, yo, I want to do this one day. I want to talk about sports on ESPN and just seeing just completely crash, bro. It's just like, man, like don't get me wrong. Stephen A's been into foot to the fire for years now. Anyways, it's not like, oh my God, what the my hero. But it's just like, man, all you had to do was not talk about Bron's tot. That is all he said. That's all he said. He just don't. And that's not disrespect to Bernie, but like he literally was saying, "Yo, just don't talk about my kid." Like that. That's it. That's all it had to be. He stops talking. It's over. But for some unknown reason, Stephen A. couldn't I guess go like that per se. Maybe the tweets of people calling him a. But he swears he doesn't care about the internet. And to be fair, you shouldn't. They must have got to him or something, lit a fire, because now he's just been taking these shots that he's saying aren't personal, but are like disgustingly personal. I'm not gonna lie. You talk about my son, I give you a warning about it. You say that's cool, but then you keep talking about me. Then you call me a rat friend, and then you say I don't support the dead homies. I tweeted it. I immediately said I'm not gonna lie. If Bron actually fought you, I wouldn't be surprised. But Bron's a professional. He's not gonna do that. But I just wouldn't be surprised at that point.
He said that I mean, it is the internet that's driving a lot of this stuff. In response to the slap comment yesterday, he took to his Twitter to kind of clean some of it up. Nice try, folks. On my show, I said I would have swung on King James had he slapped me. Like lots of y'all said. The lots of y'all that he's referring to is the internet. Like lots of y'all said I was scared he would have done a few weeks ago. I also said immediately after that, I would have gotten my ass thoroughly kicked by the 6'8", 250 Goliath. But folks just left that part out of my sentence on YouTube. So he's actively listening to the internet, the commentary that's going on. I want to go back to that video, play it one more time, and then I'll play his backtrack first, and then just go down the fact that he's blatantly lying. He's just blatantly lying about LeBron James.
For sure.
You mentioned the Kobe situation, how LeBron wasn't there at Kobe's memorial service. And I mean, we saw it because I had to scroll down to it, but the community note, this is incorrect. LeBron James was in attendance. I mean, there's tweets that I could pull up that LeBron James was at Kobe's memorial, but he was requested not to be filmed. There's pictures of this. There's video of this. I mean, there's so much evidence that points to LeBron being there. So the producers had to come into his ear, or his folks had to blow him up and say, yo, bro, we got to clean that up.
The first segment of the show when I talked about him at the memorial service, okay? I didn't mean to say he wasn't in the building. I was told he was in the building. You understand? But we saw a whole bunch of players out there. We didn't see him. Why? I'll let him answer that one day if he so chooses. Remember, people were blowing up my phone since the first segment.
It's just, bro, he keeps on proving LeBron every single time. Like, I tweeted it out today when all these clips came out of what LeBron said on Pat McAfee, because that's what sparked this whole conversation. He verbatim said, you don't got a problem with people talking about hoops. That's your job. That's how you make a living. If it was just about Bronny, the basketball player, he's cool with that. Mind you, we are talking about LeBron James, the most criticized athlete of all time, who barely speaks about criticism. So he's clearly cool. Like, he knows how to navigate through criticism when it comes to hoop. But like he said, he got to, especially now that his son is involved, if you take it personal, and now that he's at the end of his career, like, if you're gonna take it personal, he's gonna take it personal. So that's all this is to me. And every single time Stephen A gets on the mic, he just proves LeBron every single time that he wants to take it personal. Because outside of the stuff that he said today about Kobe, he made a lot of character judgments about LeBron in the 50-minute podcast that he did yesterday. I know we only saw clips, but I truly did take my time out to watch like the whole 50-minute shit. He was making a lot of character judgments on LeBron, calling him shady, calling him a snake, calling him all these different things. But mind you, this is the same dude that his go-to bail every single time is, I mean, I preface all my statements by saying he's a great father and all this shit. When clearly you do have a problem with the dude. You've been at a problem with the dude. You haven't fucked with him for years now. But every time you get on camera, I don't got a problem. You clearly do. You clearly do, Stephen. You got to stop lying, bro. You got to stop lying.
This whole crash out where where LeBron sits here verbatim, told him to his face. He has said it on social media, and now he has went on camera and said, my problem is y'all aren't talking basketball. Y'all are talking about everything else. Y'all talking about things beyond basketball. And this motherfucker, Stephen A, repeatedly just goes on camera and continues to talk about non-basketball shit with LeBron James. Every time. There was a clip Souls is bringing up where he's like, yeah, what I'm saying is going right over this nigga's head. And that clip applies to every individual thing Stephen A says. And it's crazy. One clip of him saying, literally what I said is going over his head and he's not listening. And Stephen A double, triple, quadruple down by just talking about anything non-basketball. It's disgusting. And I hope y'all now see what's going on.
This is great.
I hope, in the words of DeMarcus Cousins, I hope the world see what's really going on and how they really are. Because this is crazy.
But you can go back, my mic. You can go back and look at like some of our clips of us being critical and hypercritical of not just them. And it almost sounds like a rehash at this point. But all of the old guard, I think Stephen A is just taking it to the 10th degree. I know they're going to have to talk about it tonight on Inside the NBA, but Stephen A is just taking it to the 10th degree with some of this stuff, just flat out lying and then saying he misspoke. So he said what he said right there. Where he said he didn't mean to say that LeBron wasn't there. He knew LeBron wasn't there. Everybody knew LeBron was there, you know. But you know, why wasn't he on camera? I'll let him talk about that. Again, fishing. No, nobody thinks anything of what you're saying. But so then, because that wasn't good enough, he goes to Twitter. And says, my apologies and clarification. I misspoke in hour 1 of First Take today. When I intimated, oh, my bad. Intimated that LeBron did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. I corrected myself in hour 2 when I acknowledged he was indeed in attendance. My mistake. Should not have even broached that subject. You're absolutely right. It just did nothing for the conversation, but made you look stupid as fuck. It was not my main point. I retract nothing else that I said. Have a nice day. So you go from saying that you meant to say one thing, now it's a whole nother misspeak. This is just a flat out lie. And these are situations in which he could just acknowledge that he's wrong, but he just flat out lied. I want to go through the rest of this stuff because my problem with even this specific portion of the monologue, what are you insinuating? He wasn't at Kobe's memorial service when he actually was. Well, he wasn't on television, and I'll let you tell why. I'll let him tell you why. As if he's holding this secret about why he wasn't on before. But then to even go, oh, that wasn't even my main point. I retract that. Oh, you're fishing. I want to go through the rest of it though. Just the bulk of it.
I never brought up really discussed.
This is that preface shit too, as if he's doing LeBron a favor for not bringing these things up.
He'd be happy with the things that I haven't brought up.
He should be happy with the things that I've never brought up.
He was doing that a lot on this podcast too, by the way, Omar. A lot of like blackmailing. You know how he did it with Lonzo? I mean, I know your doctors. Yeah, he does it with everybody, but he was pulling that shit a lot. I know who's around you. I know what y'all be doing. Oh, this ain't even the half of it. Like, all right, Stephen A.
And can never produce anything.
That I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service.
This is bringing it up, by the way.
I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that.
This is about 2 weeks after Bronny had a heart attack.
I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go.
What the fuck does that even mean? What does the heart condition thing mean? I missed this one. Maybe y'all can break it down for me.
Your career. I brought up none of that. I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition.
What does that mean?
Hey man,
I
just don't know. And I think for me, a lot of the
redacted?
Huh?
I just did. I don't know what he said. Go ahead.
I don't know where that was even gonna go. So I just moved on. Like, yeah, I think for me, what's also like damning about it is the amount of times that he's had to go to Twitter to clarify this and clarify that and clarify this and clarify that. That's how I know he's just crashing out and talking out of emotion. And don't get me wrong, we've all been guilty of that once or twice, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times. Ooh. Done that on Twitch, YouTube, things like that. But bro, he's the first person to rub in that he is a professional journalist. You're on ESPN, First Take, biggest sports show in the world. Ooh, bang, bang. And it's just one of them things where it's like, you're making these mistakes over and over and over again. You're saying it's not personal, but these clearly are things that you're trying to dig up because you're emotionally invested into the subject. I wouldn't even necessarily, I would say he's emotional, but he's definitely, even if we can't use the adjective that he's being emotional, he definitely is invested into it to a point where he's not doing his job correctly. That is just straight up the problem right now. He's not doing his job. And I would go as far as to say that as a casual fan, fuck the people in this comment section and us. Fun fact of the day, if you're watching this video, you are somewhat not a casual. But even the people that just go to the barber shop and talk hoops, if this shit in just like a eyebrow raising red flag on like, yo, maybe these niggas cover the sport in a dog shit way. I don't know what it is at this point, because it's so clearly obvious that shit is being narrative driven and things like that. Like, it makes you question about a lot of the stuff that was trending in the past about certain players and certain personalities and stuff like that. Was it bullshit? Was it media spun? Did I fall for it? Was I a zombie? Because this is just, it's just laughable at this point. I ain't gonna lie. And it's sad to see too, because again, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas at one point in time definitely started the YouTube shit to want to do what he's doing, but bruh is tripping. I don't know how else to say it. The nigga is tripping.
Can I be devil's advocate?
Sure, we definitely have like 2 people in chat trying to do it too. So please stay on stage.
I mean, honestly, it's not the most devil's advocate take, but how calculated do y'all think LeBron James is? Because I think that is a part of what Stephen A is insinuating here. And I also had this take about what he did. Like, a lot of it was calculated. I do think him going on Pat McAfee specifically was calculated. Going at Brian Windhorst was calculated. Bringing up Stephen A was calculated. All while releasing the Mind the Game podcast trailer on the same day. I think all of that was calculated. Like, how do you, like, that is a part of what Stephen A is insinuating. How much of that do y'all think?
It can be calculated, but he's not weird.
I think some of it is calculated. I think either whether you believe it or whoever believes it, I think too many people need to get jobs because they are digging way too much into how calculated it is. Niggas need jobs. Him going on Pat McAfee's show on ESPN was calculated. After that, my nigga, it's just him getting shit off. I don't think niggas strategically said, yeah, I'm about to talk. Yeah, bro, that shit is hilarious. Strategically said, yeah, we're gonna talk about Stephen A. Then I'm gonna bring on Windhorst, and I'm gonna bring back up Stephen A. I'm gonna bring back up Windhorst, and then I'm gonna drop the trailer right when I get off set, and then I'm gonna have a stinker hit the buzzer beater. LeBron, no, nigga, that's not how this was. Like, Some of it's calculated, cool, but niggas is digging way too deep into how much shit was calculated. Niggas is trying to treat LeBron like Doofenshmirtz or like an actual villain about this nigga's meticulously calculating every single thing. No, gang. That nigga said, who's this nigga? Who was his op in the media? Who was nigga saying who Stephen A didn't like it over at ESPN? Pat McAfee. What's the second biggest show on ESPN? Please, someone tell me. What's the second biggest show? The Pat McAfee show. So
First take.
at this point now, the Pat McAfee show. So if I really want to get under your skin, everyone, oh my God, go on Shannon. Shut the fuck up, Uncle Tom's. If I want to get under this nigga's skin, why would I not go to the nigga that in the media, they say he don't like him. He's on this nigga's network. You're going to have to talk about whatever I do. I'm going to sit down with Pat McAfee. Now, at that point, you can sit there and say, I guess he can drop the Mind the Games trailer too to add fuel to the fire. Who wouldn't do that? That's just brilliant. That's good marketing, my nigga. That's good business. He's a businessman. That makes sense.
I mean, there was another scenario Stephen A brought up about the shop, because he's been trying to like have a conversation with Bron, and his whole point was like, okay, if Bron don't want to come on my platform, I'll come on his. And throughout that whole scenario, he was talking about how, like, okay, I can come on the shop. He only has 2 requests. Bron got to be there, and 2, y'all can't edit shit out. And then he never heard from the shop ever again. Now,
who make demands, fuck nigga? Who are you to make demands?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I know, because I know we all. This nigga is pissing me off. Stephen A. is super pissing me off. Dog. First of all, he uses big words to try to make situations bigger. Everything he does is try to make shit bigger than what it potentially is. That whole I didn't say, and then proceeds to say as if he has some sort of secret or he's in the trying to make situations bigger than what it is. This situation that you're talking about right here, it's calculated. My God, this isn't Rich Paul and him and Maverick and him in year 2 saying, yo, in year 20, we're going to take over NBA media. That's not calculated. Is not just okay, Tuesday, we're going to go to, Dairy Queen. Me, you, Damo, and Sage, Tuesday, we're going to go to Dairy Queen. We get to Dairy Queen. It's a good calculated trip. Shut the fuck up. That's not what that means. Making plans is not being calculated. And I know you're not doing it. I'm not letting this nigga get the shit off. You don't get to make demands for situations here. I've been saying this about Stephen A. Smith, and I said it today on the Twitter space. Yo, I'm not going to lie. Thinking about it out loud, he's never been cool with these guys. He's never been. He's just been saying stuff, and nobody's been saying anything to oppose it, right? I think the only one who's given him any validation was maybe a little bit of Kobe and then AI. But everybody else, his brother, his dog, his guy, his homie, his young boy. The first
Terrell Owens had a moment with him. Richard Sherman had a moment with him.
Nigga, I don't know you. I don't know you.
Max is blacker than you.
Yeah, that's
I don't know you.
Crazy, man.
Kevin Durant was going at him.
Brown.
People don't even remember how crazy that situation was. All Kevin Durant was simply saying in that situation where Stephen A. was alluding or insinuating the fact that there's a possibility that he could go to Washington. All Kevin Durant was saying is, dog, I don't know you. Like on some real shit. And Stephen A. came on the show the next day and tried to gaslight America to not only the fact that he knows Kevin Durant, but that Kevin Durant is either trying to pull the wool over your eyes or that Kevin Durant doesn't even know where he's going. Y'all don't think that was bullshit?
You don't want to make an enemy out of me.
Hey, Sage, that was good, bro.
This shit is so stupid, bro.
Listen to the nigga that I go in the shop and these are my demands. Well, nigga, what the fuck? Yo, could you imagine calling LeBron James or Maverick or whoever? Yo, I want to come on the shop and these are my demands. Wait a minute. Who? Hold on.
I think the no editing thing ain't even like a let me control the narrative thing. Like if you say some wild shit, we gotta have the right to edit it out. Like it's not even the narrative
just comes on the
control thing.
It's not even about that. It's not even about that. Dog, we didn't send for you. Who the fuck are you?
You requested to come on the show and then presented demands about your request coming on the show. Sit the fuck down, my nigga. What are we talking about? What?
Mind you, he's pressed to go there. So,
Mind you, niggas don't fuck with him.
So many accounts.
Mind you, niggas
It's like,
don't fuck with him.
Yo, Mr. Beast, man, I'd love to do a video. Him, yes. All right, bet. Now I have 2 demands. 1, I gotta get one of them deals where I'm guaranteed cash. And 2, not gonna lie, all tots, get them the fuck out of here.
75% screen time for me, Mr. Beast.
What the fuck?
I mean, y'all don't like you can make requests even if you're being
No,
a guest on someone's platform.
Requests and
I'm not
demands
saying-
are 2 different things, Souls.
Okay.
He
I'm
made demands.
I'm not saying...
After requesting to come on his show, my fault, Sage.
No,
He
you good,
requested
you
to
good.
come. He demanded to come on the show, and then made demands about
That's
his
fair,
demand to
that's
come on the show. That's the problem.
Man, the nigga hit
Y'all
with
got me.
Paul, the nigga hit with the Paul George negotiations. Look, my thing is like dead ass.
I want what Kawhi got.
Now no trade. Like, shut up, Paul. No. My thing is like, I'm not gonna sit there and act like Stephen A isn't somebody that can even have an accomplishment resume to the point where he has an ego or whatever. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you're trying to tap into their domain and get good with them. Once you're trying to do that, you conceded that because you're trying to essentially you conceded whatever status, whatever ego, whatever whatever the tots want to describe it as, to have like, I guess, a superiority over them, or to a level of cachet to behave like you are now going to be treated above norm or above the rest per se. You can, the idea that like he's wanted LeBron to come on the show all these times, but then anytime LeBron ever, in his opinion, is clapped back, because this isn't the first time that he's felt LeBron has clapped back to something he said before. He goes straight to LeBron's petty. That whole fuck it, Clutch is petty. These dudes blow my phone up, and then that's where the whole graphic shit started. They've been doing the graphic shit since Max was there. When LeBron is a good dad, good husband, all that stuff. The first time he did it, don't get me wrong, I laughed. But it was crazy in hindsight, because it's like, damn, he's for the longest time taking these digs at LeBron just as a character, not as a player. Called him soft several times as a individual, all these other things. It's just,
Yeah, and
yucky. I don't know.
before we go on, I do want to just remind people too, if he was talking about the shop, he had this is a minute ago, so then he's just bringing up these situations now to try to paint LeBron to be either afraid of him or scared of him or whatever the case may be. Stephen A is very entitled. He says this quite often. These players can come and talk to me if they've got a problem with me. Like, yeah, I said he was a bitch ass nigga, but if they want to talk it out, we can.
My phone's always open. Yeah, he was pulling that card too. Yeah, you talking about LeBron, all like LeBron and Bronny in public, but all of a sudden now he gotta now the meeting that you have with him gotta be in the tunnel.
Mind you,
fuck out of here, bro.
When they had the first phone conversation, he dubbed it, and then he did the thing in public, and now all of a sudden, what's wrong with that? But I want to keep going down the line. So this is just for the people that might say something. This is LeBron James, what is this? Shitting on Bron for not being at D-Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony the same week LeBron and Bronny made hospital visits due to his cardiac situation. Shitting on LeBron for not being at Kobe's funeral when there's reports and evidence that he was there. This is the nigga that doesn't lie. It was the same week.